Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video, the second round of my League Racing Championship on Thursday Night Racing League. This time we are at Imola for two 40-minute sprints. So yeah, came off Laguna Seca fairly well. I think we were fourth or something in the championship. It wasn't a brilliant race. Laguna Seca was not really my greatest track. And for this car, nor is Imola, to be honest. This certainly favours the front-engined cars massively, so I don't know why, but Ferrari and Italy can't make a track good for their own cars, so yeah, this might be another bit of a struggle. So yeah, we'll see how we do, but people in Bentleys and stuff will be quick. The Ferrari isn't a bad car here, it's just not necessarily the quickest. But here we go, on our first qualifying lap then. This one also a night race, as you can see. I've got the lights on full endurance mode, so all lights on the front of the car are on, so I can see as far ahead in the track as possible. Decent first sector there, using all the exit curve there into Tossa, my favourite corner name. It is one of those, to be honest, one of those corners. It's difficult to hook up the car. I have to take it in second gear, otherwise I just get no traction in first gear. The track is also cold. I think it's about 12 degrees here at night. So it's 2:30 AM at the minute. So it's almost like we're doing a big 24-hour in the middle of the night stint. You can see this is going to be my best lap at the end of qualifying here. Coming up towards the tricky chicane, got to use all the curb. Again, the Ferrari doesn't really like of using loads of curb, braking just before the start of the curb, and you can see I used a little bit of the yellow on the inside there, but definitely not as much as some of the other cars can use, but that was pretty good through there. We've got a decent exit, and we are up on a 42.9 that was invalidated, unfortunately, so this is going to be the only chance of a lap we have, so hopefully we do not invalidate on around the final corner. And yeah, not dipping a wheel in the gravel, so that's always good. Shortest run to the line then, we're going to hug the inside as much as we can, and it's going to be a 42.5, so not too bad. That, as we set that, puts us 5th, and as qualifying finishes, that will leave us in 5th, I believe. So we out-qualified there Luke in the other Ferrari, which was sort of what I was aiming for. Out-qualified Lemos as well, which was a big surprise in the Porsche, so he's clearly struggling a little bit, only by 3/10 or so, but still. And we've got some really quick guys and Ferraris and Audis up ahead, so you can see a 41.6 was the pole time there, so insane, almost a second a lap quicker than me, which is not what we want to see. Here we go, on to the start for the first 35-minute sprint. And it's a decent reaction. We sort of get boxed in here behind Killer Dude and MX Bloxham, and well, unfortunately for MX, he's going to completely miss his braking point and go straight on the grass, dragging him out into the gravel trap, and that is a free position for us. But as you can see, I hadn't actually remembered to put my lights on, and as I do that, I'm trying to flick the lights on. Lemos gets up my inside. There's not a lot I can really do. I have to leave him a little bit of room, and subsequently I go slightly deep into the next corner, dip a wheel in the gravel, and he is round the outside, and with that naturally aspirated engine he can blast past us. So unfortunately we gain one, then we lose one, but not a brilliant start, but not rubbish. But you can see we've got Dazza in another Audi. The Audi was very quick here. He's looking for a move. It was a fast left, so I didn't really want him to go for it, and he backs out anyway. So yeah, good stuff there. Lemos then up ahead. We're going to try and stick with this train. You can see a train form. You can see Six Skill and Killer Dude are at the front of this train, with Lemos just in front of me. Joe Banana's already in the Audi, pulling a little bit of a lead. So let's see what we can do. So I was thinking already at the start of this race, if I'm not going to be able to keep up with this train, which hopefully I will be able to, we're going to have to do something strategy-wise that puts us in front. So let's see, 33 minutes to go, first lap. It's always nice settling into the car. The tyres are still coming up to temperature, the brakes also still come up to temperature, so I'm potentially braking 5-10 metres earlier than I usually would, and so will everybody else, apart from maybe the OP Porsche. But yeah, you can see we're already breaking away from the AMs behind. Yuri, my teammate there, 1.7 seconds behind, so he's had a good start. Got ahead of Dazza, and Kevin, who was probably main rivals for the AM Championship. And you can see here on this third lap now, sort of getting dropped a little bit by the train, and this mistake here into the chicane is not going to help. You can see we lose about a second from that, unfortunately, so just a bit too late on the brakes. Car not able to carry that much speed into the corner, and subsequently losing the back end of the car. But hopefully if the guys ahead fight quite a bit, we can try and get up behind them. So yeah, 2 seconds then the gap to Limos after that mistake, so we were about a second behind, now we are 2 seconds, which is not good. 6 skill and Killer Dude also just up ahead, they're nearly 4 seconds ahead now, so I've lost a massive amount of time there, which is not going to help our race. And the crucial slipstream that we needed really to keep in that pack, we have subsequently lost. But so we're going to be in a bit of no man's land here, pulling away from the AMs, trying to hold on to Lamos. You see we do a 42.7 there, so it's only 2/10 off the times we were doing in qualifying. It's skipping quite forward ahead. You can see this is going to go into the daylight, so night to daylight. So the times, hopefully as the track gets slightly warmer, the times will get slightly quicker. As you can see, a 42.4 there, so actually quicker than my lap in qualifying there. So you can just see as I get more used to the car, I'm getting more and more speed out of it, using all the curve on the inside there. There's a yellow flag up ahead. See who is in the wall, and from the delta it looks like it might be Joe Bananas, who has had a mistake. He drops back into third. Yuri's still 8 seconds behind, so Yuri's kept on behind me quite well considering. That Lambo is also not a great car for this track combination either, being mid-engine as well. Yeah, see, catching up with backmarkers. Halvor's here in Fredster even in the McLaren here. He's gonna flash the lights and he's gonna hopefully get out my way, although it is my responsibility as the fastest car to get past him safely. So yeah, we're going to go up the inside here at Tossa. Nice clean move, not losing much time at all, and that is how we do it. So yeah, Fredster then dispatched there. He's in 14th place. He's almost looking for a move on me as he gets the slipstream up towards the fast left, but thinks sensibly not to go for it. Yeah, sort of in no man's land at the minute. 4 seconds ahead is Joe Bernardes, so we've definitely gained on him. He was the leader, bear in mind, he was the one who put it on pole, so he's made some mistakes, which shows how important consistency is in even sprints of about 35 minutes. Consistency is really important. You can see 5 minutes to go, and I'm the only one, apart from Joe Bananas who goes into the pits now, the only one not to have pitted, so don't need to change tyres. It's literally going to be a splash and dash of 1 litre of fuel. But the pit lane here is pretty long and slow. I mean, it feels like an age when you're going down it. So we're going to try and put some quick laps in here. We're on already speed for a 42.3, so this would be really good. So if we can keep, maybe even dip into a 41, we might be able to gain a few places from this strategy. It was bold, but I thought I've got really no option. I've got no pace on the top 4, and we're going to have to pull something out of the bag, try and get some more championship points, especially on Lamos and Six Skill and Killer Dude and that. They're the very, very quick guys. So Joe Bananas was new to this round, and new to the league, but he was evidently one of the quick guys. And you can see the line and the brake marker board actually been taken away, so I didn't know really where to brake for the ball, but luckily we don't speed and get ourselves a penalty. And you see fuel to add 1 litre, so we're going to add 1 litre, and that is going to be literally about 3 seconds that we're stopped in the box. You can see the pit lane, an absolute age. You have to look on the track map to see who is going to overtake us. You can see they're coming around the final corner now and onto the straight, so I'm definitely going to lose 1 or 2 positions. They go up and then pretty much down straight away again. But we've got this long pit lane. You see I'm in second now, into third coming up now. So will I be able to get Killer Dude? No. Will I be able to get Joe Bananas? This will be quite close. Also with Luke as well, who's had a brilliant race starting from further back, just behind me. and in fact we are just going to get pit by Luke. So unfortunately that strategy has not worked at all. In fact, it's gone very badly for us, but in the favour of Luke. Luke gains a position because of us. You can see we're using far too much curb out of the pit lane because I'm annoyed. I've lost a position to Luke. By the end of the race, there was nothing I could do. I didn't have enough time to catch him up. I probably was similar, maybe a little bit quicker than Luke. You see, definitely quicker than Joe as he's struggling there in the Audi on cold tyres. But we're going to come home in 6th position. So although pace-wise it's probably round about where we were, it's a bit disappointing because potentially could have brought home 5th or definitely 4th. So if I boxed the same lap as Joe, I'd have probably just come out in front of Luke. So unfortunate there, but yeah, that's racing, I guess. You've got to go for these bold strategies, and sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't. So coming in 6th that first race, Luke in 5th, Joe Bernard's 4th, so not a great race for him starting from 1st. And unfortunately Lemos, congrats to him, but he wins that first sprint race, so getting more points on us, which is not good. You're going to see throughout this series that he's going to end up being our main championship rival. Here we go then for qualifying 2, again in the dark, so back in the dark, and then like before it's going to get lighter and lighter as the race goes on. But yeah, see, using all the curb and qualifying on low fuel, so the car is running slightly higher just because the fuel isn't weighing it down through this tricky chicane, using probably a little bit too much curb there, but good use of it on the exit. Second gear for the hairpin. Don't want to use this inside curve. I do touch it just a little bit, but it doesn't unsettle the car too much. You can see we're equal to our delta with a 42.3 so far, which is about the best lap we did on in the race on low fuel. So that looks like to be our maximum pace, unless we can improve a little bit here at the end of the session when the track is getting at its warmest and most quick, which is some track evolution into the tricky downhill right, probably the most tricky corner on this track, including the chicane as well, the 2 big curves. You can see we've gained slightly on Joe Bananas on his lap, so it's a decent lap so far, again using all the curb and the car nice and settled through there. So good stuff through there. Coming down the hill, very tricky braking zone this one, slightly to the right, and then just as the road straightens up, on the brakes into second gear using all the inside curb and exit curb as well, and the same for the last corner. Probably could have used a bit more curb there. You can see I'm actually fighting the car on exit, but that's a 2.5 tenth advantage as we hug the wall to the inside to the line. Where is it going to put us? We're currently 5th, and unfortunately we stay 5th. So very close. Luke actually does a very good improvement on his lap there to get 4th and only 6 tenths away. Us, however, though, a little bit of margin there. Again, out-qualified Lemos by quite a bit, but still put right sort of in the top third of the pack. So we're up there, but we're not up there, if you know what I mean. You see an insane 41.1. I mean, that's probably one of the quickest times I've ever seen on PS4 around here. So an incredible lap by 6 skill. But we're going to start for the second final sprint race of Imola for this season. You can see I almost jumped. I was almost predetermining the lights. You can see I've already dispatched Luke, and there's some contacts up ahead, and we're going to go up the inside. We're on the inside, so it's a narrow line, and well, I think Killer Dude sort of messed up and hit the curb, and doesn't really leave us any space whatsoever, and that unfortunately leaves Joe Bananas. He can now attack us. We're on cold tyres. We've got our lights on this time. We can see into the apexes, but an outside round here on cold tyres just not going to work. And you can see Lemos thinks, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. So up the inside, he goes right around the outside, and I mean, you can judge that how you wish. You can always play it back, but I don't know if I was entitled to a bit more space than that, or I think I understeered maybe from the apex on these cold tyres. Might be a bit of a racing incident, but unfortunately that has cost us a lot of time and a lot of position. So we're now behind some of the AMs, including Peter here, who goes a little bit wide through fast left. We're going to try and get him as quick as I can with a very, very nice move up the inside, late on the brakes, giving him no option to attack back, and we are through. So you can see again, I'm a bit rattled from that. I'm a bit annoyed about that contact. At the time I was probably thinking it was Lemos's fault. You always do. I think it's the other driver's fault, even though it might be yours. But we're going to push on anyway, put that behind us, and hopefully come through the field to get where we were before. But you can see we haven't actually lost too many positions. We're in 9th place here. Killer Dude, Luke, they're only a few positions up ahead, and you see actually they're fighting up the road, and you see that puts me alongside Kevin, but Kevin doesn't really leave us very much room, and subsequently we go very wide, flashing the lights in disappointment. So not happy with that at all. But we're going to have to move on again. Another thing we just have to brush off our shoulder and continue like it didn't happen. But there will be some words in the steward's room after that, basically pushing me off the track. But yeah, maybe he didn't mean it, and we're going to have to fight on either way. So in 9th place here, just kind of see what we can do. The tyres sort of up to temperature, not quite in the right window. I mean, it's very difficult in these cold conditions to get the tyres in the right window, but they're not too far off. Luke, you see, with a mistake, and the two teammates, Kevin and Luke, fighting it out for position. Never would have thought an Am and a Pro would be fighting, but you've seen it here on Thursday Night Racing League. But yeah, it looks like Kevin in the Lexus, certainly down the straights, has some very, very good pace, even better than the Ferrari, which is pretty good in the straight line. But that Lexus, with that V8 motor, V8 power, pulling it along very nicely. But that's not going to help our situation. We want to get past Kevin as quickly as we can, because it's just another car in the way of our race and subsequent championship points. So through the chicane, you can see that Lexus can use so much more curb. Doesn't get a good exit though, and this could be an opportunity down the hill. It's always going to be tricky here though, with a tricky late braking zone, and you can see we're just a bit too ambitious on the brakes and completely missed the braking point. Lock all the tyres, and yeah, that's that basically. So unfortunately losing lots and lots of time. But yeah, a few laps back, later, 26 minutes to go, and you can see I'm still stuck behind Kevin. You can see my times, a 44.1 is my best. I should be doing 42s. So behind Kevin with 2 seconds off front running pace, which is not good. You can see the gap to the guys ahead and Luke has grown so much that I'm gonna pit, because I'm only gonna lose more time trying to fight him. Fair enough, he can defend his position, but it's costing us so much time. We're going to go into the pits. The brake marker board, the pit marker board has not been taken out yet, so we can brake nice and late. And with that pit stop done, another quick litre of fuel, we are out onto the track, and we come out in P12. Crucially, in front of MX there, who is another very quick driver in the Audi. He was the one who went straight on in the first race, not having a great race himself. So it's good that we got pace and position in front of him. So with 21 minutes to go, you can see we're catching up with a few drivers who are yet to do their pit stops even, so most of the AM. So Perped here in the Lamborghini, a nice little blue liveried Lamborghini. You see struggling for traction out the hairpin. That Lamborghini is very quick in a straight line though, as my teammate will know, as he's been using that to his advantage. Braking on the board to the right and turning in just after. You can see he gets such a bad exit out there. I have to back out the throttle, almost lose the car. I'm going to try it around the outside. I am going to try it around the outside, but it's a bit risky. Get caught up on the curb. He goes in deep. I try to get the switch back, but he defends it quite nicely. So good defence here, and he's entitled to. It's the position. So yeah, you can see so much later on the brakes here, trying to size up a move, but he's just parking it on the apex, and there's nowhere really I can go. I can see him flashing the lights because I know I'm losing so much time behind this guy. I mean, this lap is a 45, so 3 seconds off what we should be doing. You see, putting the nose up the inside there. I'm going to try and do it into the final corner, but there's just no room there. You see, Perped doesn't get a great exit out of the final corner, so we can have a look for a move down the straight. You can see I'm getting impatient, and there's a little bit of rubber banding on the straight here, so I'm just dipping in and out of slipstream. You can see I get along the side into turn 1. Will this be the move? onto the brakes just before the curb on the right starts,
Clear on the right.
and we put it up the inside and meet the apex nicely there. So good bit of racing there, to be fair, with Perpid. Nice and fair, nice and respectful. It's nice to race with the AMs as well. So yeah, good stuff there. But by the end of the race, come home in 5th, ahead of MX, and there's nothing really more I could do. So yeah, bittersweet sort of round there. We had some 5ths and 6ths. It wasn't really great, but and not where you want to be fighting in the championship. But yeah, we're going to have to see what we can get out of this. But it's going to leave us quite a few points shy of the leader in the championship, which is going to be Lemos. He's going to be on 64 points, I believe. Yeah, there you go. I'm on 42. MGL on 36 and Skill also on 36 points, and the championship leaders are still Lemos and Alex. So Lemos getting good points for his team. But that is going to be this video, guys. Stay around for the next few races of the Thursday Night Racing League and see if we can get this championship. It's going to have to be a massive comeback, but I hope you've all enjoyed. Like and subscribe as always if you have, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Just